If Earth suddenly stopped spinning for just 1 second, the world as we know it would be thrown into unimaginable chaos. At the equator, our planet rotates at more than 1,000 miles per hour. We don't feel it because everything, including us, the oceans, and the atmosphere, is moving together at that same speed. But if the ground beneath our feet came to a halt while everything else kept moving, the results would be catastrophic. Imagine standing on a moving train that suddenly slams on the brakes. You would be hurled forward with tremendous force. Now scale that up to the size of the Earth. Every building, car, person, and even the oceans would continue racing forward at incredible speeds, turning ordinary objects into deadly projectiles. Skyscrapers would collapse as their upper floors ripped away. Cars would tumble like toys. People would be flung across landscapes in an instant. But perhaps the most terrifying consequence would be what happens to the oceans and the atmosphere. The oceans are vast reservoirs of mass and momentum. When the solid Earth stops but the water keeps moving, walls of water would rise up, crashing over coastlines. These waves would dwarf any tsunami humanity has ever known, reaching heights of hundreds, maybe even thousands of meters. Entire cities along the coast would vanish under the onslaught within moments. The atmosphere, too, would not stop with the planet. Air would keep racing at the same rotational speed, generating winds stronger than the most violent hurricanes ever recorded. These winds, blasting at over 1,000 miles per hour, would shred forests, flatten cities, and scour entire regions down to bare rock. Nothing could withstand such force. The destruction would be near total. And yet, this is only the beginning. Earth is not a perfect sphere. It bulges at the equator because of its rotation. If that rotation suddenly ceased, even briefly, the balance of forces holding the planet's shape would collapse. Massive tectonic shifts would occur as the crust readjusted. Earthquakes of unprecedented magnitude would tear across continents. Volcanoes would erupt as pressure released from deep within the planet. The very surface of Earth would be ripped apart. For a moment, one might imagine that after a single second, when rotation resumes, things would settle back to normal. But the damage would already be irreversible. The momentum of oceans and atmosphere unleashed in just that instant would devastate the planet. Millions, perhaps billions of lives would be lost within minutes. Ecosystems would collapse. Civilization as we know it would not survive. But what if we zoomed out to consider the longer-term effects? If Earth's spin could stop entirely, day and night would no longer follow the familiar 24-hour cycle. One side of the planet would face the sun for half a year, baking under relentless heat, while the other side would freeze in endless darkness. The equatorial bulge would disappear, causing seas to rush toward the poles and flooding higher latitudes while draining equatorial regions. The redistribution of mass would further destabilize tectonic plates, leading to centuries of violent geological upheaval. The magnetic field, generated by the planet's spinning core, might weaken or even collapse, leaving Earth exposed to deadly cosmic radiation. Life would struggle to survive in such a hostile environment. Thankfully, physics provides some reassurance. A planet cannot just stop spinning on a dime. The energy involved is beyond comprehension. The only conceivable cause would be an unimaginable cosmic event, like a collision with another planet-sized body. But entertaining the thought experiment shows us just how delicate our balance really is. The rotation of Earth is not just a background detail. It is the invisible thread holding together the conditions that make life possible. We live our daily lives unaware of the immense forces at play, and yet they quietly shape every breath we take. A sudden stop, even for 1 second, would remind us in the harshest way imaginable of the power locked within our moving world. In reality, Earth is gradually slowing down, but at a pace of just milliseconds per century. It will take billions of years before the planet's spin ceases naturally. Long before that, the sun itself will have transformed, ending life on Earth by other means. Still, the question makes us appreciate the fragile, intricate balance of our planet's systems. Every sunrise, every tide, every gust of wind is tied to the spin of our world. So the next time you look up at the sky, remember, the ground beneath your feet is racing around the planet at more than 1,000 miles per hour. And it is that constant motion that keeps life as we know it possible.